Up till now in this series, we've talked about video somewhat generically, but now it's time to get Cisco specific and talk about what Cisco produces for each one of the elements that really comprise a video network. Now, before we go any further, I want to show you something. This is actually the Beam Plus that CBT Nuggets just bought 3 of. Teleconferencing at its best. I'm literally roaming around the CBT Nuggets office with a video camera on wheels that can join in any conference room table. It can join in any collaboration session. Can there be any doubt why Cisco renamed CCNA Voice over to CCNA Collaboration? These things are reasonably priced and they're available now. I mean, this is crazy to bring this kind of reality right into this series. So know that this is not 5 years down the road. This is happening right now. Now, when you start introducing these new traffic types into your network, you have to also introduce some resources to handle them. I mean, when you think about routers have always just looked at headers of packets and sent them on their way, right? Really simple devices. So when we are using these same devices to process voice and video, take a look at this guy. When you pick up that phone and start making a call, something has to take the words that are coming out of your mouth and chop them into packets and send them across the network. That's the job of the voice gateway that is equipped with DSPs. What are these? DSPs are digital signal processors. One of the most expensive things that you'll add to your voice and video network. Essentially, you're going to feel ripped off. I guarantee you when you see it, you're like, isn't that just like a sim of memory? Well, it is, but it's more because it's really little processors sitting there that are geared specifically for voice and video traffic. Actually, around 2 major functions. One, conferencing. Mixing multiple signals together into a unified stream and sending them out, along with transcoding, which is converting the different codecs that you may have on your network to something that would be compatible. Like, for instance, maybe you want compressed codecs across the WAN, but when you get over here, you want to uncompress them. That would be the job of a transcoder. So where are these DSPs stored? Right inside of your routers. So when you buy a router from Cisco, they're going to ask you how many DSPs you want. And you're going to say, well, how many do I need? And they're going to say, as many as you can fit in there, because they're not only wanting to sell you more, but they also realize that down the road as your network grows, you don't want to hit the capacity. You don't want to hit the wall and be like, I've got to order more and, take down the network while I install these new devices. Just get it done right from the beginning. All right, so now we turn our attention to the voice gateways. In the Cisco realm, you can have 2 different types. One is TDM. The other is session border controllers. You can have these on the same device, but usually you'll have different ones. TDM gateways convert from the old world to the new world. So say you've got an old school PBX system, right? It costs $10,000. You don't want to get rid of it yet, but you're starting to build a voice over IP network over here on the other side of your network with a couple phones, right, that you're bringing into the system. Well, I can say I'm going to bridge to that old school PBX with an old T1 or PRI interface so I can have 23 active calls going across to all the phones that are connected to that guy. That would make this a TDM gateway, essentially a device that converts from the old to the new. Got to have some DSP resources inside of there to do that. The other kind of gateway you can have is a session border controller. This one, known in the Cisco world as CUBE, Cisco Unified Border Element, this device converts from an IP network to another IP network. The real reason that it's here is because it allows you to have a demarc of sorts. So let's just say out here in the cloud we have the ITSP, Internet Telephony Service Provider, and on the left hand side we have all kinds of different Cisco servers, asterisk servers, voice things. Well, The ITSP doesn't want to open up all these different holes in their firewall so all these devices can come register, right? So what you can do is have them all report straight to the Cube device. Think of it like NAT for voice and video, right? The things report to Cube. Cube links up to ITSP, and that way you only have one IP address responsible for sending and receiving calls back in. That's what Cube or Session Border Controller is all about. Now drop down with me to the control components. These are the devices Cisco sells that literally control the video calls, sets them up, makes them work, logs them, etc., etc. Come in two flavors. One is the Cisco Unified Communication Manager. This is the famous one, CUCM, because it's an enterprise focus. Essentially, if you go to Cisco and say, hey, I want to do voice and video in my network, they're going to sell you one of these or two. Actually, they'll probably sell two because you have a publisher and a subscriber, essentially the publisher being the read-write copy of the database, the subscriber being a read-only, and you never want a single point of failure in your voice and video network. So this guy is geared around internal communication. You can go multi-site with it, and that's all cool, but really it's designed for your enterprise itself, not to reach to the outside world or outside customers, although you can receive outside video calls and voice calls through your voice gateways. That's not the major focus of this. That's the focus of VCS. VCS, the video communication server, is really broken into two elements. The control element, which is the device inside or the server inside that really controls the video calls themselves, sets them up. It's a SIP registrar, acts as a gatekeeper, can handle bandwidth control, etc., etc., but also is commonly paired with an expressway. This is going to be the element that allows outside video callers to come in. So they can link in from your website and have a video conference call with a customer support representative inside of your organization. Or you can have this link to external partners without compromising the security of your own internal organization. You can think of the expressway as more of a cube-like system to where you can have a video teleconference unit sitting inside your organization that its calls will go to the controller, the VCS-C, right, and say, okay, I want to start an outside call with the guy at Starbucks that's on his iPhone joining into this, or with a business partner or something. This thing sends it to the expressway, and that's the one that actually initiates the connection out, right? So it keeps your controller internal and safe, protected behind that little demarc of sorts on the inside and outside world. Now we get to the fun stuff, the endpoints, what the end user interacts with on the telepresence system. We've got 8900 and 9900 series unified IP phones, which are like these guys. Essentially, as you go up in the series, you get better quality video, larger screens, more lines, those kind of things. This is the 8900 series. You can actually have a teleconference call straight from the phone itself. This little camera at the top, adjustable, so people don't just get the up the nose shot of you. You can actually move it around it based on what kind of angle you'd like to get. You also have the telepresence systems that are more like these. These are typically fixed in teleconference rooms, or you can even get the ones on wheels like I was just showing you at the very beginning. This is very similar to that, to where you can actually see a video of the remote caller. They see a video of you, very high quality. You can go from this size all the way up to an entire room size. That's all the different series that you see right here with the 3 different monitors that you've seen in some of the other videos of this series that I did. Jabber for telepresence. This allows you to have a teleconference on just about any device that you want. It would be Windows, Mac, iPhone, Android, iPad, all those kind of things. Essentially, you get a Skype-like chat client where you can double click each one of these, have a little instant message chat. You can turn that into a teleconference from the device itself. Digital media player, don't have a picture of that one here, but essentially that's a set-top box. Think of it like a Roku, Apple TV, one of those kind of things that you would plug in. Gets that one-way stream from maybe you've got a stream going that you want to send out company announcements or something like that. That's what the digital media player is geared around. Finally, why don't you walk with me into telepresence land? Cisco will sell you all kinds of stuff to help with telepresence. And when I'm talking about telepresence, I'm typically talking about those three screens combined together into a conference room that makes you feel like you're there, or that monitor I just showed you on the previous slide with the video camera and you've got your screen right there. Those are awesome and great. But you got to have something to mix all the signals together. That's what the MCU is all about, multi-point control unit, of which Cisco sells two flavors. You can get the smaller server, which is a 7010, that can mix together 16 screens. So you take, those 3 screens, 4, you mix them together into one simultaneous conference call. That's the 7010. The mega server, the 8710, can mix together 16 to 144 screens. Now, if you see a picture of this thing, it's actually a blade server where you slide in blades to this giant unit. So each one of those blades can handle 16 teleconference calls. Now, this thing will cause you to mortgage your house, your car, sever a few limbs, donate your blood and your children because of its cost. But when you start thinking about it, think with me, 144 screens. What does that mean? That means 144 people staying where they are. They're not traveling to different parts of the nation. They could be in Japan. They could be in Arizona. And you think of all of the travel costs, all of the saved productivity by having one of these giant conference calls together without people actually meeting together at a single site. The costs start adding up and you start getting your severed limbs back, right? You can buy the telepresence management suite. What this does is mass provisioning of the screens themselves. So you can just plug in the screen, it gets its configuration. It does contact management to where you can actually have a listing of all those screens and say, I want to dial, conference room B. Central administration, resource schedule, it integrates with Exchange to say, I'm going to reserve room conference room A at 11 a.m. and it can book in the Exchange calendar for that. The content server itself records the calls, and then you can transcode them into a streaming format. So you can send it out to that set-top device wherever you would have that if maybe you want to mass produce that call. Finally, MediaNet, not a feature that you go out and buy. This is a feature that just comes in the updated versions of the iOS. So essentially, any updated iOS flavor will have the ability to auto-configure. So as you provision these devices, it can auto-configure the routers and the switches on the way that are MediaNet compatible. And this also gives you the advanced monitoring you're looking for, so you can see if packets are being dropped and video statistics for traffic passing through them. Those are your Cisco video elements. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.